Hi, welcome back. This is George. This is the second part of the deer hair popper, and we're up to where we're going to do the trimming and getting the popper completed. If you're here for the training on trimming deer hair, basically what we have here is this front part is basically the whole popper right here, and this is just a tail. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trimming this back, squaring it up, and adding some eyes so we can finish this. Some of the things we want to be careful of on here that you're going to constantly hear me pay reference to because I've cut them off a lot. But as we got some legs right here that are tied in. Okay, you can tie them in after. But normally I tie them in while I'm tying the bug. And I've got, you saw in a previous video, I have a weed guard on here. So there's a lot of nice obstacles on this guy right here to try and get this trimmed right. But it's okay, we'll work through it. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm trimming this back hair off the tape. Okay, and the only thing I want to be careful of is the deer hair. So trimming it off the tape, I'm coming onto the tape and we'll take a look at it as I'm pulling it forward. We're kind of squaring it off. So I'm going to take off some of the big stuff. As you're trimming, try and get as even as you can to start with, and you're only taking off a little bit at a time. And the reason is because this hair is like, this hair I got in here is pretty long. What do we got here? These legs here. Let's see. This hair is pretty long in here. So what I'm going to trim around first is I'm going to trim around these legs. I'm going to trim around this weed guard. So using a dubbing needle, I'm going to go underneath here so I don't cut off any of the feathers. I'm following the needle. Because behind that needle, behind this needle is a lot of nice heckle. Doing the same thing over here. A lot of nice hackle in there, I don't want to ruin. So here we go right here, so which is the reason for the tape. Okay, so I'm going to pull these out, weigh a little bit here. Okay. And we'll start to take shape. I'm going to go to a razor blade in a minute here, but I'm just trying to get it even. Okay, so I got that nice and clean. Going around the tape. There. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, squaring off the front a little. The back. Let's get these guys out of the way. Now you can take this needle and push this guy down a little bit. Get him out of the way. Okay, so let's go to the top and the front. So what we want to do is give him a nice flat top. So taking a needle, now there is a tool that'll hold these blades for you. It'll arch them and hold them straight for you. They look pretty nice. I'll have to get one and try one, but for the time being, just nice, easy trim. Basically, it's just a razor blade split, cut in half. I'm not trying to take off too much at a time. Okay, so we're getting a nice flat top. And you can trim it along too. Just drop the needle in and cut along the top part of the needle. Kind of like the way a barber uses a comb. The whole thing with this is taking your time and taking a little bit off at a time. Then you can use a brush. I have a little wire brush right here. I'm cleaning out the hairs that get stuck in there, and plus it shows me the ones I still missed. Okay, so we got the top. Let's look at him from an angle. You got the top, and it's pretty square. Okay, now you want to do a side, making sure the legs are pulled out of the way. Okay, so we'll do the same thing I just did there. Keep it right about I know it sounds strange, but I'm actually trying to make a cube. Square it off first, and then I'm going to round off the corners. But for right now, the cube lets me do how thick I want it. So I'm going to do the same for here. Get these legs out of the way. Because what will happen is it is too much of the razor. You tend to go a little crazy, take a little too much off, then you can't really do much about it. All right. Okay, now I'm going back to the bottom. So I'm going to grab these legs again, just tighten them on there, get them out of the way. Get this weed guard. Okay, so now we should have a nice square / rectangle. Okay, so now we start trimming them, rounding it off.
Hello, this is Charlie Cricket again with Fun with Flies. I wanted to remind you, if you get a chance, to visit the Fun with Flies website. We're updating it every day with new patterns and all kinds of new ideas for you to tie, including some training. We're going to be adding some PDFs so you can cut out some patterns and some material lists. And while you're at it, if you enjoy this video and you want to see some more of them and see them right when they come out, which we're sending out maybe one a week, go ahead and choose subscribe and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, have a good day and enjoy. Send you back to George, funwithflies.com. Bye bye.
So what you can see here is what I'm doing is trimming out if they're long, kind of giving them a nice little haircut. Careful pulling the legs too tight. So now I'm just cleaning off any of the long hair. Teasing it up a little. Okay, there we go. Nice flat on there, so kind of got it the way I want it. So what I'm going to do right now is make sure my legs are down there in the bottom. Okay. Really easy now. I'm going to take some super glue. Make sure it's nice and flat on the side. Drop a nice big old glob in there. Grab that, want the eyes down so they're on the bug, and do the same exact thing on the other side. These eyes are big enough, I don't have to use pliers or tweezers or anything like that, I just put them on. Okay, make sure they're level, squeeze them for a second. Okay, now a couple little hints and tricks to this. Before I put the tape on, I wrapped it around the hackle. Took it with my fingers and I took most of the glue off. I didn't want to pull all those nice feathers off with it, so I had it taped and I only ended up pulling 3 or 4 fibers off. So it's little things like that that'll save your bug. So now we're going to dress them a little bit, clean them up. So there we go. Deer hair pupper, cute little guy. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's George at Fun with Flies. And we'll look forward to see you on the next one.